HighLights. It's your host TranceBates, and we just getting into episode 3 off the highlights, and we talking about the up next crew. With this one, we're talking about the one rookies, second year and third year wide receivers that's going into their new year. I picked 10 of them. I'm gonna break this down in a 2-part video. We're gonna do 5 today, and then another recording, I'm gonna do another 5. So we just gonna get right into it. My first one, he was a rookie last year. He broke out of the gate. LSU wide receiver. We already covered Malik Neighbors, but this is his running partner, his running mate, Brian Thomas Jr. He went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had a phenomenal rookie season. So we can only hope to see what happens when you team them up with when they put Travis Hunter on their team. Maybe, hopefully, Trevor Lawrence can have some consistency. Who knows? But let's go and check out Brian Thomas highlights real quick. All right, we up here more. But Trevor Lawrence was hurt last year, so see. What the fuck we doing, man? Trevor Lawrence was hurt last year. They had Mac Jones. Who knows how that's going to go? He moved on.
Protection. On third down, there's Brian Thomas. Can he take it in? Yes, he can! That's a touchdown, Jacksonville.
From the Jacksonville offense, and they torched Bullard on this series. I mean, there was no chance for Bullard to keep up with Brian Thomas, and that's what I talk about with Brian Thomas being a rookie. Instead of going...
Fake toss to Bigsby. This is Thomas. And the rookie picks up a first down inside the Packers 20.
Look at the coverage. The coverage is just as good. Brownlee is in perfect position and just drop linebackers, backup linebackers for Tennessee.
Jones, free blitzer off the edge. Jones gets it out quickly. Just masterful from Jones. Lawrence get them into the end zone. Put some air under it. Far side. He's got Thomas wide open. Thomas. Touchdown!
So last year at the combine, he ran a 4.3. I think he was coming out. I think a lot of people looked at him as a deep threat, but he showed a lot of versatility in his game outside of the deep threat. I think he's a wide receiver number 1 for the Jags now. I got some pros and I got some cons about him, and we can go down this list. Let's see. Like I said, he has elite size, speed combo. He's 6'4" at 4.3. That's fucking a nightmare for fucking defenses to cover him. He's good in the red zone. Later in the year, they try to move him around a little bit more, so we're gonna see how that goes. Like I said, red zone threat, good hands, body control, definitely a go-to option. And once you put that Travis Hunter on the other side, who knows how that's gonna look. And then hopefully, like I said, hopefully Trevor Lawrence can stay healthy. If they have good chemistry, if they can keep on growing, and then you can just plot Hunter in there and see how that works. Sky's the limit for him, really. He's improved over the year. They said he's improved his footwork, his route nuance. So like I said, he's more than just a deep threat now. And once you throw Hunter in there, Trevor Etienne, how that backfield looks, you're really going to have the defense paying maybe less attention to him, I would assume. I think a lot of the eyes is going to be on Travis Hunter, but if the defensive coordinators paid attention to what Brian Thomas did last year, so they definitely going to be looking for him. On the con side, like I said, route, he still needed to develop a little bit. Technician needs to polish the short intermediate game. he tends to have big plays here and there, not a consistent big play artist across the board. So he needs to work on that a little bit more. It seemed like he struggled with contested catches a little bit. Said he occasionally loses the 50-50 ball. I guess needs to be a little bit more aggressive when going through for the catch and through the traffic. How is he going to handle being wide receiver number one? Like bona fide number one. That rookie shit is not going to hurt him this time. So how's that going to? Is he going to be able to deliver? Is he going to be able to handle that pressure of being the number one? Can he extend to that tier list and being a top? I mean, he's probably already a top 15 wide receiver, but a top 10, top 5 wide receiver. Can he reach that? And then, like I said, the quarterback volatility. If Trevor Lawrence is in and out the lineup, the Jags probably not going to be doing that much. So we have to see on that end. I'm not sure who their backup is, but they lost Mac Jones. He played pretty well with Mac Jones, so we could see. And like I said, after I go through the pros and cons, I'm going to give you the stat predictions for his next year. And I say 85 receptions, 1,289 yards with 10 touchdowns. That's, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a good look for him. As we move on to the next one, he also was a rookie. He burnt it up in the Super Bowl, even though they was down a lot. But he had the fastest 40 time at the combine. We're talking about Xavier Worthy. Let's go into these highlights. Let's see what he's working with. Pause.
Hard to get him down with the first guy. Line of scrimmages now, the 21. Spin it over to Worthy. Down the sideline, cuts it inside for the touchdown.
Look down from Mahomes, 50 yards.
Patrick. You got Worthy just stretching the defense. Got a few of the reserves in there. For Patrick.
This one for Worthy. Oh, what a catch! And somehow Xavier Worthy grabbed it. Yeah, it's a really nice catch by him. They do a lot of this with Xavier Worthy where they'll run him in the flat, try to get him the football.
Call this one. Watch him take this turn. 4.21 seconds. No more worries about whether or not Kansas City has any speed. Beep, beep, here he comes. Golly.
And the Chiefs are finally on the board.
Great job by Worthy.
But this one is going deep for Worthy. And the rookie holds it in. That's the longest touchdown pass for Mahomes.
City found themselves another deep threat. Speed out the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put him anywhere. I think they're going to try to, he need to bulk up a little bit, but you can put him anywhere. Utilize that speed, and he gives them what they was missing with Tyreek Hill, that big play. Like I said, game-breaking speed. The pros for him, we got the game-breaking speed. We've seen how he ran through the defense. Andy Reid is a creative play caller, so he knows he's going to utilize him everywhere. So yak ability after the catch. I mean, he just has a small frame, but like I said, they getting Rashee Rice back. They got Jalen Royals. They got Hollywood Brown, and you got Xavier Worthy with Travis Kelce. I'm not sure about their running back situation. Pacheco really didn't do too much this year, but with that many fucking weapons on the team, shit. You know what I'm saying? Each one does something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood is on the outside. Xavier Worthy with the game-breaking speed. Rashee Rice with the power slot, and then Jalen Rose is probably the most complete of them all. Not saying that he will be, but I will say as complete as a receiver, where you could potentially be your number one, depending on how he develops. And yeah, second year with Mahomes, I can only see it getting better. A Deshaun Watson, like they said, a hybrid of Tyreek Hill and Deshaun Watson here. But with that size and durability, he did have a low injury risk. But there's always a possibility. Also, I wouldn't say not a good route runner, but I will say his route needs polishing. So you can use him a little bit more instead of just down the field. Where you can attack every level of the field, I would say. But like they said, with that size, corners is going to really try to press him. So you're going to have to move him around motions. That's probably the best thing. with that wide receiver room, is he going to get enough touches? He's going to have to make everything count with those moments, those handoffs, those deep passes. He's going to have to make them count. Hand focus drops. I think he can get better with that. To hit the jugs machine. I think getting more comfortable with Mahomes. He probably had the lowest of the stats of all the wide receivers I covered in this one. But my prediction for him this year, 75 receptions, 1,050 yards, 7 touchdowns. Move on. The next one was another rookie, and he was balling. A good, favorable slot receiver. You can actually move him anywhere. Went to Georgia. Ladd McConkey. Man, he's a very dependable wide receiver. He's a good weapon. He's a great weapon. And let's check out Ladd.
The quarterback, he just gives his guy a chance. And what do we say? Contested catches for McConkey. Whether it's on Alontae Taylor.
In the middle. That's good stuff, Ross. Herbert, a little pump fake, throws deep. He's got McConkey for another touchdown.
And they hit a huge play down the boundary.
To widen. Gain leverage, swing by. See how he puts that right foot in the ground and gets that corner flyby? What a route.
And a contested catch, hand fighting going on. And this is what made him a legend down in Georgia with the Bulldogs, being where you're supposed to be at the right time and coming up with those contested catches. He's a dependable guy.
But look, no one's open. He just throws the ball where only his player can catch it or nobody catches it. What ball placement? Did he come down with it, Jim?
Does he have enough
Control. I think that's touchdown.
Herbert steps up, throws it in the air, catch made, McConkey breaking away. McConkey takes it all the way for the touchdown.
I thought they was about to come back in that playoff game. That boy, I mean, shit. It's one of those situations where it's just like he did so well in college that it's just like, why wouldn't you bet on him? But I understand the size, maybe not really a dominant wide receiver, but everything else is there, man. He's, like I said, had an exceptional rookie performance, 82 receptions, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. He broke Keenan Allen's rookie record for the Chargers. He's just a dependable. He had 9 catches, 197 yards, and a touchdown in that playoff game against the Texans where they got their ass whipped. But he's a dependable target. Very dependable. So, and you know, Herbert with those weapons, man, like he says, he has elite route running and separation, the quickness, precision in and out the routes. He had a 3.1 yard average of target separation. Like I said, strong chemistry with Herbert to have that type of season. I mean, they didn't really have too many other weapons. I said Quentin Johnson really, you know what I'm saying, he's been struggling with the catching. So who knows? And they was a real dominant run team. They ran the ball a lot. But with that Greg Roman system, but he you know what I'm saying? Like he's a safety blanket. He's like a tight end to a degree. I know they was looking for a tight end, but he's kind of like a tight end. You can play him anywhere. He's going to get that separation. You can move him around. He's going to get that. Offensive scheme fit, yeah. Like I said, he put him anywhere. That boy's bad. He went in the second round. I think he probably should have went higher over a lot of them. I think if he would have went to Carolina over Xavier Leggett, they had Khalil Shakir in Buffalo. So, I mean, they kind of do the same thing. But as we talk about cons, they got more weapons. So his personal targets might decrease when they added Omarion Hampton, the rookie running back, and Trey Harris, who we covered in the first episode, coming out of Ole Miss, the deep threat. And he might have a Brian Thomas type of year, depending on how Quentin Johnson, if Quentin Johnson can step up his game, you know what I'm saying, actually catch the ball for a wide receiver, they might be a dangerous crew. But who knows how the volume is going to shake out. But I think where Herbert's chemistry with McConkey, he's going to be good. He's going to get majority of the targets. Depending on how Trey Harris come on, he's going to get majority of the targets. He's going to tear it up intermediate. Trey Harris probably deep. It's going to be a sight to see. Physical, he's not really physical at the line, so you're probably going to have to you're going to have to keep him in motion. Durability, he missed a game. I don't think it's alarming though. As far as stats, I think he's gonna have a better year second year, sophomore year. You say 102 yards receiving, 1,250 yards with 8 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have that offensive clicking. Like if Trey Harris, if Amarion Hampton gives him 1,300 yards, Ladd with Trey Harris and Quentin Johnson, I mean, it might move him to tight end. Probably better for him. But if they could do that, I think he's going to have a good season. He's probably one of the most dependable wide receivers I would bet on. Next boy, or next player, he helped me on my fantasy team, Jameson Williams. He had a breakout season last year. He's a Deshaun Jackson, a Tyreek Hill, a game changer on that team. And let's look at some of the highlights.
This was incredible. Watch this. I got him. No, you don't.
I mean, that's not just a hurdle.
I need more of my wide receivers is playing on my fantasy team. I need y'all to with the highlighted shoes so I can follow y'all on the field a little bit better. That's all.
This was incredible. Watch this. I got him. No, you don't.
I mean, that's not just a hurdle. That's a
28-20. Earmark that. Here is a completion to Jameson Williams. He is gone. Touchdown line.
A veteran, he's been down this road before. He understands that speed. The double moves, tries to break, and really almost should have tackled him at that point because if you have somebody with that kind of...
Fumbles was hit. Unblocked man coming. Duck hung in there. Got it to Jameson Williams. Touchdown Detroit.
Play fake. Pass. Caught.
Jameson Williams is ridiculously fast, and there's Tyreek Stevenson. He's playing off man. Jonathan Owens, they both underestimate how fast Jameson Williams
Last year, I love the quick snap here.
Pressure though on Goff. Stands in, going deep. He's got Jameson Williams for the touchdown.
Wow. Motions, except this time, they just quick snap him. Catch Dallas, not asleep, but not prepared.
Gibbs, little trickery. Jameson Williams, end around. Williams needs a block, gets it. Williams, cuts back. Jameson Williams is gone. 61 yards.
That man is a fool, yo. That man is a fool. Like, yo, he could break out. Yeah, he could attack the field anywhere. Like, he in that Tyreek Hill, Deshaun Jackson, Xavier Worthy. He's in that bag where it's just like, yo, you just want to get him the ball in his hands and let him do what he do. And I know he had a torn ACL, I believe, coming out as a rookie, and he getting in the bag. He getting in his bag. They took him pretty high, but the way what he is for that offense with those other weapons, with Jahmyr Gibbs and yeah, opposite of Amon-Ra St. Brown, yeah. And like I said, that was a breakout performance for him. What he had, 58 receptions. He had 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns. That's 17 yards a catch, which was the second best in the NFL. Big play. J-Mo. What else we got going on? Now, I will say they lost both of their coordinators, but more so on the offensive side, they lost Ben Johnson. We know how good Ben Johnson was. He a mastermind. Now they have John Morton. But they still have the same structure. He said he wants to emphasize on keeping the same structure. But that plays well into what they do, right? You have the same quarterback, same offensive line with the keystone pieces, same running backs, same wide receivers. I know they just dropped the rookie wide receiver in there in the second for probably Jalen Reynolds or something like that. But they should be decent as far as the players on the field knowing what to do and how to run the schemes that they've been running. I don't think you want to mess with it too much. And he's seen a significant uptick in his targets at the back end of last season. So hopefully John Morton wants to utilize him. I say he had 58 receptions. I think you want to have him around 70. Get that man 70 catches, and it's going to be something. They picked up his 5th-year option, so he has motivation to get a new contract, get that extended. I'm quite sure they're going to want to keep him around, especially for Jared Goff. You need those weapons for Jared Goff. He can't do it on his own. He's not one of those quarterbacks. You need that type of game-breaking weapon that can change it, just like Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, cons, he had a few suspensions. You seen him humping the ground. I mean, I don't have no problem with that. Like, hey, that man just ran like 60 yards for a touchdown. Get off of him. So, but he did have a performance hazard substance suspension in 2024. We lost him for a game or two, maybe. So that's always there. But hopefully he's maturing a little bit with a bigger role and just getting older. I forgot they had Sam Laporta. I mean, the targets. I think you will want to, when it comes down to it, I think you will want to get Jameson more targets. I don't have no issue with that. I don't. There's always a competition, but we've seen from them, they get it done. You know what I'm saying? They was putting 30, 40, 50 up on opponents last year. If they can keep that up, if it wasn't all Ben Johnson, if Morton can maintain that, I understand. We can get some more targets, fam. They say they got a tough schedule, 11 games against playoff teams. Who knows? It changes from year to year. We go off strength of schedule, and some teams just aren't as good as they were last year. Some teams that are bad that you think is about to be a cakewalk play a little bit better. So I'm not going to harp on too much on the schedule being hindrance for them. It's just, for me, that offensive coordinator and how that plays out. He said he wants to keep the existing offensive structure. Cool. I don't know how long he's been there. I haven't done my research on Morton. I don't know what he likes. But as far as has he been a play caller? Is he a play caller? In those moments, those critical moments, we know Ben Johnson would get it done. We know the only reason they probably really lost last year is because of those injuries on defense. The offense is always humming. Jared Goff is always prone to have that 1 or 2 games where it's off the rails. But as far as the offense, they was humming. So I don't know what Morton is going to do. It might be some hiccups early in the season. They might lose some games that they shouldn't lose due to the calling down situation. Is he going to be ready to handle that? You don't know until them bullets are flying live. We ain't talking about practice. We ain't talking about practice. But my prediction for him is 75 receptions, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's for J-Mo. And the last wide receiver we're going to talk about tonight, from the Ohio State, my boy Jackson Smith and Jigba, JSN. One of the best slots in the league. Guaranteed catch. He's like Ladd. Reminds me of Ladd. Or Ladd reminds me of him. But let's check it out. JSN.
And twist. Smith down the middle for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And somehow.
Are you kidding me, Adam? Look at that. In between 3 defenders, and Murphy was all over him.
And they're doing passing it now.
Zips it over the middle. Good catch. Really.
Thibodeau back on. Smith to the outside. Smith and Jigba on the reception to the 20-yard line.
Down at 31. Smith over the top to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Still on his feet. Takes it out. Another flag. Smith goes deep, and it's caught by Smith and Jigba.
He's running that fade route, but because he gained all that space, Geno Smith throws a beautiful.
Fired over the middle, into traffic, catch is made.
Down. Smith to the end zone. Smith and Jigba. Touchdown.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Not really flashy, but very dependable. He's going to catch it from the slot. He's going to get open. There ain't much they can do with him, man. He had a great season. Alongside, he had DK Metcalf, so DK Metcalf probably was getting most of the attention. He had Tyler Lockett, who was a vet. And in that season, he had 100 receptions, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? You had Geno Smith as the quarterback, so give props to Geno because he's a real good quarterback. But 100 receptions, 1,100 yards with DK Metcalf out there, Tyler Lockett, yeah, he was getting open. Now they do have Clint Kubiak coming in from the Saints. He has a Shanahan-style system, so the type of player that JSN is will have a prominent role in that offense. Intermediate, middle of the field, man coverage aligns well with Kubiak's philosophy. So on that end, scheme fit wise, I think he will be good. He's proficient against man coverage. And they added Cooper Kupp. They got rid of Metcalf. Lockett is in Tennessee. Metcalf is in Pittsburgh. Cooper Kupp, they brought him in and they brought in MVS. MVS is really just a downfield threat. Cooper Kupp, who knows how much he has left. He's one of those that needs a lot of targets, but he's a very dependable wide receiver. So they're probably going to really focus in on JSN. He's probably going to be the real, target getter with Kenneth Walker out the backfield. So who knows how that situation is going to go. Probably get more targets. Now, my issue with these people or this team, Sam Darnold is your quarterback. Who knows what you're going to get from Sam Darnold? It's uncertainty. Geno, we know he revitalized his career. Hopefully, Sam Darnold has done that with the Vikings, but he's not throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who else made our list. But I'm not. This is one of them. I got to see it to believe it. My hopes is high for JSN, but I'm not sure how that's going to mesh with Sam Darnold. So we got to see how that's going to be. But with all of those wide receivers gone, Metcalf, Lockett, not necessarily Lockett, but Metcalf gone, they're going to focus on JSN. I don't think they're really focusing on Cooper Kupp. I think they should have went a little bit, got another younger wide receiver to put into that mix. But I think they want to be a run team, run defensive team. JSN moving the sticks, first downs. But I think they're going to be focused on him. So I think they're going to have to really move him around, motion him a little bit. And like I said, the supporting cast, Cooper Kupp, MVS, Sam Darnold, who knows? It's you don't know what you're about to get from this offense. You're going to have to really see it. And he's about to be the number one wide receiver on that team. So he had 100 receptions last season. As far as my stat prediction for him, I'm giving him 90 receptions, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a little bit of a step back because of the quarterback position. I don't know what Sam Darnold is going to give you. I'm not really familiar with his game as far as can he go from Minnesota. I heard that he did well as a backup in San Francisco, went to Minnesota, got thrust into the starting lineup, got them to a 14-2 record, throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Kevin McConnell, one of the great coaches. So who knows if Sam Darnold can take that, especially that line for Seattle is going to matter. If they're getting pushed in the inner guards, it's going to be bad for them. Because I don't think they don't have nothing to really work outside of that. So as far as the list, we went down. We had Brian Thomas Jr., who I think is probably going to have another good year based upon but quarterback play. If Trevor Lawrence can stay healthy, how well does he mesh with Travis Hunter? Can Travis Hunter get into that gear and really be a dominant factor? Or how much is he going to play on offense? How much is he going to play on defense? We had Xavier Worthy. Is he ready to take on a larger role? I believe in Andy Reid. I believe in Patrick Mahomes. It's just more so about him focusing more on his hands, his routes, so he can attack the field a little bit better. But I have faith in him. Ladd McConkey, hey, I mean, you're adding Trey Harris. I think there's going to be a potent offense. Honestly, I don't really have no issues with Ladd. I don't have no questions about Ladd. Jameson Williams. My questions is with offensive coordinator, and that's more situational than actual plays. Is he going to be? What is he going to call? Does he feel the need to force the ball to Jameson Williams? Is Jameson Williams going to get his targets like he should? How much are they going to give to the rookie and play off of that? So my question is, I don't know when the bullets start flying, how's that offensive coordinator play? And Jackson Smith and Jigba. Questions with Sam Darnold. A lot of these wide receivers, it's all dependent upon the quarterback, and the only one I really have faith in is Ladd and Xavier Worthy. Other than that, Jared Goff, I have faith in Goff. I just don't have faith in that coordinator. I got to see how that plays out, how Dan Campbell plays that. Are they still going to be aggressive, or are they still going to be down for the trick plays? But outside of those were just the 5 wide receivers that I wanted to go over right now. I'm going to do a part 2 where I have 5 more wide receivers that we're going to get into. And these are just wide receivers that are bubbling. Some of them just broke onto the scene, but I think they're the next up. They didn't make the wide receiver tier list we had in episode 2. Go check that out on YouTube. But I wanted to make another list showcasing the young and upcoming wide receivers. So we had Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brian Thomas Jr., Jameson Williams, Ladd McConkey, and Xavier Worthy for part 1. So I'm out tonight. Have a good, be safe, chill. This is Off the Highlights with TranceBates. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Off the Highlights with TranceBates. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and check me out on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But I appreciate you for watching, comment, like, share.